Missy said, "Come on, Jacquelina, let's get you unpacked." She started pulling out clothes from the suitcase, clothes I had never seen before. Skirts, blouses, girl shoes. "Oh, here," Missy said. "Why don't you go ahead and get ready for bed?" She pulled out a pink frilly baby doll nightie and a pair of pink bunny slippers. "You can change in the bathroom." I took the clothes and went to the bathroom, a place where I could finally get my head together. But then I realized I couldn't reach the buttons on the back of the dress. I went back out into the room. "Excuse me, Casey, could you please help me with this?" "Oh, sure, honey." She unbuttoned the dress halfway, and it fell to my feet. I quickly covered up. The girls laughed, and I rushed back into the bathroom. I took the dress off, then the shoes, and pulled off the crinolined petticoat slip I was wearing. When I slipped out of the tights, I noticed two things. My toenails were painted pink, and the panties had little hearts all over them. I picked up the nightie, closed my eyes, and put it on. I looked in the mirror and felt sick. The nightie went down to about my knees and had a high waist with a pink rose in the middle of the chest. Then I realized I had to pee. There was no lock on the door, and I didn't want to take a chance of them walking in, so per Pam's instructions, I sat down to pee. It felt weird. I sat there looking at my pink toes, wondering how I was going to get through the weekend. Then I noticed something else. The hair on my legs was gone, and after further inspection, I found all my hair was gone. Not that I had much anyway, but still. Pam had shaved all my hair off. How am I going to explain this in gym class? God, Pam. Finally, I sighed, wiped myself, and stood up. I managed to pull up the panties and stepped into the ridiculous pink bunny slippers. I walked out of the bathroom. I saw the girls messing with stuff over by the vanity table. "Oh, Jacquelina, we put out a sleeping bag for you." Missy pointed over next to the bed, and I saw a powder blue Little Mermaid sleeping bag. "Thanks, Missy. Here, I got an idea." And Casey rushed me to the vanity table and sat me down. "Let's braid your hair." Oh well. I didn't have time to protest. They immediately said about braiding my hair. I sat there for about 20 minutes while they went on and on about school clothes, boy bands, and boys. I sat there in a daze, almost falling asleep when Missy announced, "All done." I snapped to and looked in the mirror. I saw my hair was parted down the middle and pulled to either side. Each pigtail was woven in and out of one another and tied off at the end with pink ribbon. "That's going to look so cute with your whippersnipper uniform." "What?" "Oh, I almost forgot. Casey and I have a Girls' Scout meeting tomorrow, and you have to be at least 10 years old to attend. But there is a whippersnipper meeting next door, and we'll just drop you off there and pick you up later." Just then, Casey pulled out the uniform from the closet. "Here we go. Missy, your old uniform should fit her fine," as she held it up to me. It had a white blouse with a Peter Pan collar and an olive green dress that went over it, with a yellow shoulder sash and a yellow beret. And she held up something else. "What's that?" Casey looked at them and looked back to me. "Why, those are your wings. All good whippersnippers have to wear their wings." I looked in the mirror at the girl staring back at me and sighed. Missy came up. "What's wrong, Jacquelina?" Nothing, it's great. I'm just tired." "Oh, I bet you are. You had a long drive. Here." She took me by the hand and led me to the sleeping bag. "Let's get you tucked in." God, they act like I'm their own personal baby doll or something. I climbed into the bag and Missy zipped it all the way up. "Wait a minute." She walked over to the closet and brought back a baby doll. "Jacquelina, this is Steffi N. See, I don't have time to take care of her this weekend, so do you think you could be a big girl and help me take care of her while you are here?" What was I supposed to say? "Yes, I will take care of her." "Oh, thank you, Jacquelina." She kissed me on the cheek. "Now here's her bottle, and her diapers are on the vanity, so make sure she gets changed in the morning and at night, okay?" "Okay, Missy." She stuck it in my sleeping bag and went to the bed. I overheard Casey say, "You're giving her your Steffi doll?" Oh, God, Casey, I haven't played with that thing in years. She needs it more than I do. Poor thing is obviously shy and must be terrified, being in this strange place all by herself with no friends. You remember what it was like to be 7? My head was screaming, I am not a 7-year-old girl, I am a 9-year-old boy. Sigh, I tried to get comfortable with the doll. Then Pam came in. She stifled a laugh when she saw me. Well, Jacquelina, who's your new friend? Steffi and Missy jumped in. Yes, Pam, Jacquelina is going to take care of her for me this weekend. She's going to change her, feed her, and make sure she doesn't get scared at night, right, Jacquelina? I half rolled my eyes and said, yes, Missy. Pam looked down. What a big girl. Thank you, Casey and Missy, for watching her for me this weekend. I have so much to do and can't have her underfoot. Oh, don't worry, Pam. We're going to have tons of fun together. Pam knelt down. Sweet dreams, sweetie, and kissed me on the forehead, then whispered, think twice before you ever call me rude again, and she was gone. I tossed a little and finally drifted off to sleep, hoping I would wake up from this nightmare. I opened my eyes, and for a second, I thought it was just a dream. But only for a second. I looked over, and staring back at me was the Steffi and doll. I rolled my eyes and climbed out of the bag. Missy and Casey were already out of the shower and getting dressed in their Girl Scout uniforms. Morning, sleepyhead, Missy said. Here, why don't you change and feed Steffi and by the time you're done, the bathroom will be all yours. She handed me the doll and a diaper. Sigh. I began changing the doll, then put the bottle in her mouth and acted like I was feeding her. Okay, little lady, your turn. Here's your uniform. She gave me the uniform with the ridiculous wings. You take a shower and get ready, and come downstairs for breakfast, and don't get your braids wet. She put a pink shower cap over my head and tucked my pigtails under. I took my clothes into the bathroom. I undressed, started the shower, and stepped in. I soaped up and lathered my skin. The soap smelled strongly of fruit. Strawberries, to be exact. I finished and stepped out and grabbed a big pink towel. God, was everything these girls owned pink? After drying off, I began to dress. I picked up the panties first. Sigh. They were white cotton with lace around the waist and legs. I pulled them up, then put on the blouse and buttoned it up. I pulled the dress over my head, put on a pair of knee-high socks and a pair of Mary Jane shoes that buckled across the top. I looked in the mirror and noticed the shower cap was still on my head. I pulled it off and began fixing the braids. I couldn't believe I was primping my hair. I put on the beret and the sash, then I affixed the butterfly wings to my shoulders. I glumly looked in the mirror and sighed. I finally ventured out of the room into the hallway. I was almost knocked over by Steve and his buddies as they ran by. I backed up against the door. Steve and his buddies stopped and walked back to me. I was feeling very self-conscious in the ridiculous uniform. Ha ha ha. Look guys, she has wings. I tried to pass, but they wouldn't let me. Where are you going? We want to see if you can fly. Stop it, I want to go eat. Oh, little fairy is hungry. They all started taking turns pulling my pigtails. Ouch, stop. Say please. They kept pulling. Say pretty please. Pretty please with sugar on it. I was so angry but had no release for my anger and tears were welling up in my eyes. Ouch! Pretty please with sugar on it. Huh. Told you I could make her say it. Steve, stop it. I saw Missy grab Steve's arm. What? Does it make you feel like a big man picking on a 7-year-old girl? I cringed at the perception. Whatever. Come on, guys, let's leave the little fairy and her wings alone. They left, and Missy turned to me. Oh, sweetie, are you okay? God, I hate the way people perceive me as some helpless little waif. I could take that guy. She began wiping my tears. I pushed her hand away. I am fine. Let's get some breakfast. But suddenly, I wasn't hungry anymore. I pushed past her, walked downstairs, and sat on the couch. I crossed my arms and just sat there. I can't believe I was just rescued by a girl. A little while later, Pam came in. I gave her an annoyed look. I know, Jacquelina. I heard what Steve did. Then she gave me a frustrated look and walked up to me. What now, Pam? Well, first of all, little girls don't cross their arms with scowls on their faces. And second, they don't sit in a way that makes their dress right up. Especially when they have something under the dress they don't want anyone to see. She walked up and closed my legs and put my hands on my knees. Here, sit up straight. There we go. She stifled a laugh. You do look so pretty. Shut up. Now. You wait here, and we'll leave for your whipper-snipper meeting soon. God, this sucks. Then I realized that we were going out in public. I was going out in public dressed as a girl. Pam, please. Can't I hang out here in the room? No, you can't. 7-year-old girls can't stay by themselves. Here, put this on, it's raining. She handed me a pink raincoat. I grunted and put it on. Okay, let's go. I heard Peggy say, and a mass of people started filling out the door. I got up and slowly walked to the door. I noticed Casey and Missy were climbing into the first van. Okay, this one's filled up, Pam said. Everyone else will have to go in Peggy's car. Peggy grabbed my hand and walked me to her car. I didn't get a choice in the matter. She buckled me into the front seat and got into the driver's side. Peggy, why are so many people going? Well, sweetie, we're dropping you girls off, and then the rest are going to the mall. We'll come back to take you girls to dance class. You can sit in with Casey and Missy. Don't worry, they'll let you dance too. Great. Then Steve and his buddies climbed into the back. Look, it's Jacquelina. What an idiot, I thought. Hey, Jacquelina, nice wings. And he pulled my pigtail. That was the last straw. I unbuckled and started climbing back to kick his behind. Peggy grabbed me and sat me back down and buckled me in. Wagging her finger in my face, she yelled, "We do not climb around in the car, young lady. If you do that again, I will get Pam back here, you understand? She's not my mom." I didn't answer. I looked away. She grabbed my chin and faced it back to hers. I said, "Do you understand, young lady?" "Yes, I understand." "And you, Steve? You pull her pigtails again, and I will talk to you later." "Yes, Peggy." "Sorry." I looked in the mirror, and he looked at me. I stuck my tongue out at him. God, that was a real girly thing to do. It was my only recourse, and it felt strangely right. And with that, we drove off.